Grade 5, Chapter 1 Landforms. New words. Physical features. Different forms or parts of land or water bodies. Destroyed, completely finished or ruined. Crumple, to crush or make irregular folds. Collide, to come together with force. Location, place where something could be found or located. Grassland, large stretch of natural grass. Densely populated, an area where a large number of people live. Sparse vegetation, very few plants and trees. Thinly populated, an area where very few people live. Hillocks, small hills. Water course, the path of running water. Trickle, to fall in a very thin stream. Spring of water, natural water coming onto the surface from under the ground. Deposits, sand or gravel left by water, streams or rivers. Irrigation, supplying water to the fields. Sediment, the matter or deposits that settle at the bottom or sides of a water body. I am learning. Now, look at the face of the earth. This is a picture of our beautiful earth on which we live. Just like our face, the earth has many features. The physical features that make the earth's surface are called landforms. Look at your clay model. The human face is not flat or even. The nose is higher than the cheeks. The eyes are in pits or hollows. The cheeks are sloping and the chin is pointed. In the same way, the face of the earth is not flat or even. It has many big and small, high and low landforms, and many water bodies. Let us go on a journey and learn about the different landforms. The first station, the mountains. When you see mountains, don't you want to climb them? It is an exciting place. Let us now explore the mountains. A mountain is a large part of land that is raised above the ground. Mountains look like giants standing on the ground. The top of a mountain has a peak which is called summit. The sides of the mountains are called slopes. Some mountains are hard and rocky. Others have thick forests and vegetation. Very high mountains are covered with snow. Most mountains are joined together in long chains. This chain of mountains is called a mountain range. The Great Himalayan Range in the north of India is the highest mountain range in the world. Smaller mountains less than 600 meters high are called hills. Some people living in hilly areas make houses with sloping roofs so that water can easily flow down. People living in hills make steps on the slopes of the hills for farming. The Nilgiri Hills in South India is an example of hills. Look at the picture. Doesn't this appear like a mountain throwing out fire? Deep inside the earth is very hot. There are melted rocks, ash, and gases under great pressure inside the earth. These mountains force their way out from inside the mountains to the surface of the earth. These mountains of fire are called volcanoes. The hot molten rock inside the earth is called magma. When it flows out from a volcano, it is called lava. The lava flows out like a hot river of fire. Volcanoes can cause great destruction. The flowing lava and gases from the volcano kill many people and destroy entire cities. A mountain region has many ups and downs. A valley is a natural dip or low area between hills and mountains. A valley is made over a long period of time by water, wind, or ice by a process called erosion. Erosion means to wear away. The soil, mud, rocks, or ice on the sides of the mountains are worn away in bits by rain, rivers, wind, and snow. Gradually, the valley becomes wider. Valleys are U-shaped and V-shaped. Mountains, valleys are beautiful places. Some famous valleys in India are Doon Valley, the Chamba Valley, and the Valley of Flowers near Gangariya in Uttarakhand. What is this? Is this another type of mountain? No, this is another landform. When there is a large mass of land like a hill, but the top is flat like a table, it is called a plateau. A plateau is also called a high plain or a tableland. In India, we have the Great Deccan Plateau in the south. The largest and the highest plateau in the world is the Tibetan Plateau. It is called the roof of the world. The second station, the plains. Now, let us come down from the mountains to the plains. The word plain means level. A plain is a stretched level of land which is flat on or has a very gentle slope. Plains may be found along a sea coast or inland. Plains that are found along the sea coast are called coastal plains. Inland plains are plains that are far away from the sea coast. They can be found anywhere at any height. Usually, the plains have fertile soil, which is good for agriculture. Plains may also have thick forests or grasslands depending upon their location and climate. Roads and railways can be built easily on level ground. That is why a large number of people live in the plains. The plain of the river Ganga in northern India is densely one of the most fertile and populated regions of the world. The third station, the deserts. Now, let us visit a desert. What do you think a desert looks like? A large, hot, sandy land with thorny bushes. Let us know more about it. A desert is a large, dry, sandy region. Here we find small hills or hillocks called sand dunes. A sand dune is a large mass of sand deposited by wind in the desert. Sand dunes are semi-permanent. It means they remain in one place only for a short time. They change their shape and even shift when the sand is blown by the wind. In a desert, there is very little rainfall, less than 25 centimeters in a year, and sparse vegetation. It is very difficult to find water in a desert. You will agree that life without water is very difficult. So, the deserts are thinly populated. Even in a desert, sometimes water comes to the surface at some places. These places have some vegetation. Such a place where water comes to the surface of the land is known as an oasis. In northwest of India lies the Thar Desert. It is located in Rajasthan. It is spread over 4 states in India, namely Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and Gujarat, and 2 states in Pakistan, and cover an area of about 4,46,000 square kilometers. The Sahara is in Africa is the largest desert in the world. The fourth station, water bodies. At the end of our journey, let us come to the water bodies. All of you must have seen a river. Let us read the interesting story of a river. A river is a natural water course, running water. It may begin as a trickle of melting snow high up in the mountains, or it may begin as a spring of water gushing from the underground. The river mostly starts its long journey from the high mountains and flows down to the mountain slopes. Along the way, many smaller trickles of water join the river. These are called streams. Many streams join and make the river bigger. At some places, the river or stream suddenly falls from a great height and with great force. This forms a waterfall. Some beautiful and famous waterfalls of the world are the Niagara Falls in America, the Victoria Falls in Africa, and the Jog Falls in India. As the river flows onto the plains, it brings down fertile soil and deposits them on the river bed and the river banks. This soil makes the plain area very fertile for growing crops. In the end, the river flows into a sea and form deltas. Deltas are formed at the mouth of the river by the sediments brought down and deposited by the river. The largest delta in the world is the one made by the river Ganga in the Bay of Bengal. It is known as the Sundarbans. You must have seen a pond in your village or town. It is a small body of water on the ground which is not very large and deep. A lake is larger and deeper of water that is completely surrounded by land. A lake may have fresh water or salt water. A very large lake that contains salt water is known as sea. Some important seas are Caspian Sea, Mediterranean Sea, and Arabian Sea. Oceans are the largest and deepest bodies of water. A sea is sometimes a part of an ocean. There are 5 oceans in the world: Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Southern Ocean, Indian Ocean. Sometimes there is a large part of land surrounded by water. This is called an island, but the land does not float on water. What we see is the top of a large mass of land that sticks up from the bottom of the sea. Greenland is the largest island in the world. In the Indian Ocean, there are some groups of islands: Lakshadweep, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Maldives, and bigger ones like Sri Lanka. A peninsula is a mass of land that is surrounded by water on 3 sides and connected to the mainland on one side. India is a large peninsula as it is surrounded by water on the 3 sides. The Arabian Sea lies on the western side, the Bay of Bengal on the eastern side, and the Indian Ocean on the southern side.